Welcome back to Five Ever Timepieces, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of luxury watches, discuss some of the stories behind these iconic pieces, as well as bring you guys relevant and up-to-date news from within the luxury watch world. As always, my name is Chris, and today we're diving into a topic that every watch owner should consider at some point: selling on consignment. Now, if you're someone that's ever wondered how or why consignment might be the smartest way for you to sell your luxury timepiece, this episode is for you. I'll break down the benefits, the process, and what you need to know before handing over your watch. So sit back, relax, and let's talk watches. Let's start with the basics. What exactly does it mean to sell your watch on consignment? Simply put, consignment is when you place your watch with a reputable dealer or a reseller who then sells it on your behalf. Now, instead of getting an instant payout like you would with a direct sale, you receive payment only when the watch sells. The dealer or reseller then takes their percentage, which is usually between 10 and 20% as their commission. And unlike trade-ins or outright sales, consignment pieces often result in a higher final selling price for you, the seller. Now, dealers and resellers, they typically have an established network, premium clientele, and marketing resources that help move watches faster and at better prices. But of course, just like everything, it's not for everyone. There are trade-offs, like waiting for the sale to happen. But for those who can be patient, the rewards, they're well worth it. So some might be asking, why not sell your watch outright? Why go through the consignment route? Let's break it down. Number one, going the consignment route, you have a potential chance for a higher payout. Now, when you sell to a dealer or just a reseller outright, they need to make an immediate profit. This is why they tend to offer a lower price. But with consignment, the dealer or reseller, they are incentivized to basically sell at the best price possible since they, earn a percentage of the final sale. Secondly, you have access to the right buyers. Reputable dealers and sellers, they have a client list or client lists that are full of collectors and enthusiasts who are actively looking for potential pieces just like yours. That means your watch isn't just sitting in an online marketplace. It's being shown and exposed to serious buyers. Thirdly, you have professional marketing and sales strategies behind these resellers and dealers. Good dealers and resellers don't just list your watch and hope for the best. No, they take initiative. They're taking professional photos, writing compelling descriptions, and they often have their own platforms or social media reach basically to get your watch seen. Fourthly and last is the security and trust. Now, selling directly to individuals, it comes with risks. You have fraud, chargebacks, lower offers like lowballs, and then you have the obvious and inevitable time wasters. Now, when consigning with a trusted dealer or reseller, the sale is handled professionally. This reduces the risk for all parties involved. Now, there are some downsides, which is mainly, honestly, just the waiting period. But that's why we emphasize having realistic expectations on your selling time frame. One of the most common questions I've gotten over the past few years is, how long does a consignment sale take? As you guys know, luxury watches, they do not sell overnight. Well, not at least if you want the best price, they don't sell overnight. Based on the industry standards, a proper consignment agreement should last a minimum of 90 days and a maximum of 180 days. But here's why. Within the first 30 to 60 days, this is when the watch or watches are being exposed, marketed, and shown to potential buyers. This is when they're also being engaged so they know these pieces are now available. But if it's a high demand piece, it might sell within the first 30 to 60 days. Then there's the 60 to 90 days. Now, around this mark, this is typically when most sales happen. The watch has been listed for long enough to attract some serious buyers, but it's not yet stale, let's just say, within the luxury market. And then the 90 to 180 day mark. Now, if a watch hasn't sold by this time, you might need to take a step back, do some price adjustments, try some different marketing, maybe change the platforms you're using. This is why I always tell sellers, don't panic if your watch doesn't sell within the first month. The best deals take time. And with the luxury pieces, the right buyer is key. Just like that saying, you're not asking the wrong question. You're asking the wrong person. This is what I mean by the best deals take time. And with luxury pieces, the right buyer is key. Now, since we now know the advantages and timeline, the next big question I've gotten is, how do you choose the right dealer for your consignment? And here's what to look for. Number one, look for a reputation and reviews. Always check reviews, testimonials, and their online presence. A good dealer will have a solid reputation with past clients or a solid online presence if they're just now stepping into the industry. Secondly, look for transparency. Transparency in both the fees and commissions. This is where you make sure that you understand not only just their percentage cut, but also understand any additional fees before you sign that contract. Thirdly, their marketing effort. Does this person or this dealer actively promote watches through social media, through newsletters and partnerships? The more visibility, the better. The more visibility, the faster the sale. Then also, like I've stated before, the security measures. Your watch should be insured while in the dealer or reseller's possession. Never consign with someone who doesn't offer this protection. Because if a dealer is hesitant, basically, let me just say this. If a dealer is hesitant to answer your questions or gives you vague answers about their process, walk away. Now, before we wrap up, though, let's bust a few myths about consignment. Number one being, consignment means my watch will never sell. That's just not true. If it's priced competitively and marketed properly, it's going to sell. Secondly, I've heard I won't make as much money. Actually, that's the complete opposite. You usually make more money than if you sell it outright using consignment. That's just thanks to the dealer or a reseller's network. Thirdly, I've heard it's too complicated. Well, a good dealer makes this process as seamless as possible, and they handle everything for you. So, after hearing all this, should you sell your watch on consignment? Well, if you're looking for the best return and you're someone that's willing to wait, the answer is simple. Yes. If you're thinking about consigning, let me just say this. Take your time to find the right dealer. Be patient with the process. And just know that a well-marketed luxury timepiece is going to always find the right buyer. But that's going to be it for today's episode of 5 Ever Timepieces. If you found this to be helpful in any way, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. But if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. But be sure to follow us also on any of the major podcast platforms, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcast, and many more. Now, something else that I want to say to you guys is I want to appreciate all of the support I've been getting over the past few years. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode as well as the previous ones. And until next time, keep your timepieces ticking.